Hello, I'm KevyCat, and in this video, I'm going to continue where I left off. The one issue, though, is I'm not entirely sure what I want to do now, so I'm just going to do whatever various tasks come to mind in need of doing. So, first things, I'm going to finish making myself this stone brick here. Second, I'm going to clear up my inventory. My goodness, this is somewhat silly. I almost fell in the horse hole again, I'm going to say. So I can dump some cobble here. Do I have any stuff? Okay, I've somewhat cleared that out. I'm going to need to make a better solution to all this netherrack. Anyways. Okay, and let's see. Do I have quotes? No, I don't have quotes, actually. I used all of it. Okay, now then, I can, however, finally dig up this ancient debris. I am tempted to place all of the ancient debris, but the problem is, ancient debris actually takes a long time to mine. So, I'm going to do this the impatient way, and smelt one ancient debris in each furnace. So just stick a wooden plank in, I suppose. And then I can take out my netherite scraps, like this. And do I have any gold? Well, I know I have gold ore, actually, but do I have smelted gold? Well, let's check. Also, on another random note, for some reason I really like to make the sound. So I do not actually have any gold smelted. Well, I suppose... Do I really only have 23 gold ore? Okay, that's somewhat annoying. Since I generally just smelt in multiples of 8, since that's the most convenient in terms of coal usage. Yeah, apparently this time I'm not going to smelt all of my gold because I have one less than the multiple of 8. I might as well go harvest my tiny amount of wheat if it's... yeah, it's done. Because really, like, if I just make slow progress on the wheat, that's still progress toward breeding more cows. And I am going to need to remove some cows at some point or other in order to just have leather food books. However, as of now, I don't actually have an industrial, any sort of large, what's the word, wheat farm. I have literally 2 patches of cropland here, so that's somewhat silly. So, let's see. If I would... oh yeah, I might have mentioned this yet, but I did install a large belt of bamboo. And also I've decided I want to keep that area over there mostly the same as it is now, since I really like it. Basically, it's been saved by being pretty. On another note, I quite like this bamboo for some reason. I just picked up like one piece of I picked up one stem of bamboo in the jungle and it's just grown into all of this. Anyways, I might as well just harvest my berries while I'm waiting for the gold to smelt, since that's a reasonable thing to do. Now, on another farming-related note, generally, melon plants take a long time to grow, but once they have grown, they give you a whole bunch of melons really quickly. So in my opinion, melon farms are a rather good kind of farm, since they give you so much stuff. Like, if I dedicated the same space to a melon farm I dedicated to my berry farm, I probably would have tons of melons, possibly even more than berries. So I could honestly phase out my berries in favor of melons, and also melon farms are automatable. So, honestly, that sounds like something I might do. So, I have my gold here. And then what I am going to do, I will take this, and combine it with this. And okay, have a netherite ingot. And now I can combine it with my diamond pickaxe and get a new netherite pickaxe. And then if I were to do this, I could get efficiency. However, I'm not actually going to enchant it just yet, since I want to get a better enchant, basically. Like, what could I do to just get a bunch of XP? That's what I want to know. Honestly, I really have no idea. You know what, I'm just going to enchant the pickaxe now, honestly, since I don't think anything's likely to change. Okay, just generic efficiency 1. Well, I suppose that's what I get for being— Oh! You know, I realized I was about to fall in, like, the second before I fell in. Anyways. Let's see, how much durability this? Okay, now then. I really need to do something about this inventory situation, just, like, look at this nonsense. I mean, honestly... No. At this point in time, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to procrastinate on fixing my inventory, is basically what I'm going to do. Instead of actually doing that, I'm going to make some barrels and just, you know, put some stuff in the barrels. And yes, this is certifiably one of my worst storage systems, most like— no, actually, I think most of the time they're probably this bad. This is certifiably one of the worst storage systems I have seen, I suppose. Hell, is it? Well, I don't know about that, but this is definitely a really bad storage system. That's something I can say with quite a lot of confidence. Anyways, I'll just put that stuff in there, and I'll stick that in there, and that, and that, and that. And you know what? I'm going to go up right there and mine the hill. It's almost nighttime. See. I'm just going to mine the hill for a bit. Well, yeah, that's what I already said, but I'm going to actually just mine this hill for a bit to, like, I don't know, break in the pickaxe, sort of. Does that make any kind of sense in any way whatsoever? Honestly, that doesn't even make much sense to me. That's just like, reasoning. But anyways, at least now that I've removed this corner, it's going to look like I'm making progress in terms of removing the hill, because now there's going to be a big hole in it. Like, there already were big holes in it, but this is going to be a big, obvious hole in it. So basically, it's marketing. Like, just making things more obvious, marketing, sort of. But see, now there's that whole hole in the side, so that's good. It really annoys me that I just don't have a second bed to carry around with me to sleep whenever it's nighttime. Like, if I look in here, I probably have string somewhere. I have full string. Do I have any wool? Nay, I do not believe I do. And that's the situation I'm in right now. I get stuck waiting for stuff like the sunset, because basically I don't have any wool to make another bed. Because in Minecraft, really, just having a bed makes things so much easier, since I'm not worried about phantoms. But what I am worried about is just having XYZ mob come down, and, well, not any mob. Most mobs do not bother me. What does bother me is creepers. I really dislike creepers, and not sleeping quickly causes creepers. They're like that annoying disease you can't get rid of, in a way. That's a weird metaphor. But basically, that's why I tend to just want to sleep as quickly as possible. It's because creepers. However, creepers are a good excuse to cite just popular things. As in that cheesy song. And let's see, I'm just going to hop my way down here. Okay, it's almost nighttime, so I'm going to hop in my water hole. It's really nice that I found that there, honestly. It's super convenient to have. That makes it, like, much faster. I'm not sure much faster, but it makes it a whole lot faster to get down. It can't help me get up. That's what a soul sand elevator might be able to do for me. Where was I? But yeah. I was afraid that would happen. Kelp's getting caught just in there. How'd Kelp get there? How on donkey's ears is Kelp getting in all these places? Okay, so I'm actually going to have to just use some normal glass to fill in that gap, because otherwise what's going to happen is it's going to get stuck in the empty space next to the stained glass. So, prepare to hear the amazing sound of a whole bunch of glass getting broken. Yep, that is really nice, isn't it? Just the sound of a whole bunch of time getting wasted because you don't have silk touch. Isn't that such an amazing sound? Yeah, I'm obviously being pretty sarcastic. But let's see. If nothing else, this isn't taking ages, which I'd sort of thought it might. You could make a point that it is taking ages. I'm just keeping myself entertained by talking, and therefore not noticing it's taking ages, but I think that's honestly kind of silly. Oh, now I can't jump into the water since it's solid glass. But at least that way, once it grows, it's not going to end up going in places I don't want it to go. Let's see. What if I were to actually make all of the water flow to here and have the chest here? You know, I like that idea now that I've said it. So I am actually going to move the chest and the hopper here. Just to the front, essentially. So I can just stick a chest there, and a hopper there. And then, oh yeah, I can also move the sign, I suppose. I'll stick the sign there. So I can just... I'll leave the water sources where they are, because this way, what should theoretically happen is that items from anywhere are just going to fall into this space here. And I suppose I will actually make a second hopper. That would be a lot more convenient in my opinion than doing the somewhat hacky one hopper systems. I'll just stick a second hopper here. Oh, and now I also should make a second chest to make it a double chest. That would be nice. I wonder when they actually added double chests. Was it the same time that the original chests became part of the game? Wait, on another note, I'm so old I remember when chests could... what's I to say? I'm so old I remember when chests couldn't be put next to each other. Oh, and also I need another sign now. Well, at least now I'm not going to have a random sign in my storage system, so I can have that sort of cleaned up. Thank you. So in theory, now everything should pretty much just go straight into the chest there. The one problem is, I think this is slow enough that I'm going to get a fairly minimal amount of results from it. Let's see. However, well, I suppose what I'm going to do now is I'll just, like, leave it there and check back in, I don't know, 5 minutes. For now, however, I'm going to go back up and dig the top of the mountain. You know, it's probably going to be like episode 15 or something by the time this mountain's actually gone. Unless I just, like, dig half of it away off camera. You know, it's entirely arbitrary what I do or do not put in an episode. It's just if something's fairly grindy, I might decide that, hey, I think that's too grindy for an episode. But at the same time, that line is totally arbitrary as to what I decide is too grindy, because a lot of grindy stuff does make it into the episodes. So really, it's just stuff I feel like, I don't know, whatever I feel like not putting in. However, at the same time, really, I start recording an episode when I feel like there's something interesting worth putting in an episode, and then I just do whatever I would have done normally anyways. So I'll do that thing, but if I finish the thing, maybe next on my, checklist of what to do is to keep digging away at this mountain. So then that ends up being what I do for the third of the episode. So that's how digging this hill ends up being so much of what I do on camera. However, fortunately, most of, the mining for diamonds and all that has not ended up on camera, since that would just be fairly dull. Anyways, I know I've said this before, but I find it really satisfying just mining away all these bits of the mountain, just steadily. It's like a reverse Lego kit, sort of. I mean, it's not just this mountain specifically. I really enjoy removing large objects in Minecraft is essentially what it is. But at the same time, just not having a large mountain here will reduce mob spawns somewhat. Obviously, the other mountain seems to be giving me more trouble in terms of mob spawning. But I'm just starting with this for some reason. I don't know. If nothing else, it's going to immediately clear up a bunch of space between my house and the ocean. So maybe after I get rid of this, I'll actually be able to see, the, Western Ocean from my house. That'd be nice. Okay, there's one more layer here. So I'll just clear that out. Oh, I'm down here, apparently. And now I can just remove all this. And there is now just another hole in the mountain, essentially. I know I've said this a ridiculous number of times by now, but I do find this quite satisfying to do. Okay, now I guess let's just go up again to the top. The mountain. You know, it's funny, every time I go up, it just gets smaller and smaller. I'm going to remove these 3 blocks here. There's one piece of cobblestone down there, that's really annoying, honestly. But anyways, I'm just going to remove these 4 blocks. I added in an extra block just for the sake of it. You know, maybe off camera I'll just do something completely random and well, I don't know. Maybe off camera I'll mine for a bunch of diamonds and netherite until I have a bunch of that stuff. As in diamonds and netherite, obviously. And then when I come back in the next episode, I'll just have a bunch of resources and I'll build a lighthouse or something. That would be nice. However, if I do build a lighthouse, I don't want to build it just right where this mountain is, since I want to have, a clear view to the ocean, since getting rid of this makes it so I can see the ocean from my house, so I don't want to just put something else in the way. That would be silly of me. However, okay, 2 pieces of cobblestone all the way down here. Also, I am going to actually put stairs in here sometime. I'll go down and do it. Someday all of it's going to be this wide and have stone stairs. But I just haven't done that yet. It's the kind of thing that I just, look at whenever I feel like doing something, but usually I don't mess with. Anyways, let's look at the mountain now. Since this episode's almost over, I'm almost out of time. It's starting to visibly shrink, which is really nice. Anything in the chest? Okay, there are 3 pieces of kelp in a chest, which means one of these has grown and been harvested. Actually, I am going to go up there because I think there's one place where I forgot to plant kelp. Well, not forgot, I didn't have enough kelp to plant. Yep. And anyways, just for the sake of it, I'm going to simulate a kelp harvest. I'll link into my inventory. But see, it all goes down there into the water stream, and okay, that's actually really nice. It's like there's something like 1 second between when the kelp grows and when it's in the chest. It's super quick. But now I have 11 kelp. You know what? I'm going to add a furnace next to this crafting table out here. Just, the middle of nowhere club. Can I use this as a fuel right now? No. Okay, right now I need to smelt it. But say we're to smelt this kelp. Anyways, I haven't said this, but the eventual goal is to only use kelp to smelt more kelp, essentially. Because that would be nice. There. I feel rather icky right now. Anyways, I will see what happens on the kelp in the next episode. I'm probably not going to record the next episode for like 2 hours since I have a busy day and I'm just going to be doing AFK stuff until then. But until whenever that is, I'm Kevy Cat and Hurry ho, Sonny! That was a perfect outro, wasn't it?